Okay, good evening, class. Today is our second session on Iift. I've already narrated about what is all Iift is all about, when is the examination, what is the pattern. Today, taking ahead, last class we discussed a lot about quant question. Today, I have prepared a mix of quant and DI questions to give you a feel of the real Iift examination. So, we'll start directly with the questions and let's see how it goes. I have first five questions in front of you. So those who have received their question sheet can go ahead and solve first five questions, and those who have not can take a screenshot over here. I'll move on to next questions. Next set of questions. Question number 4 and 5. Okay, guys, it's 8:02. Okay, guys, first five questions. It's 8:04. So I'll give you 15 minutes to solve these questions. So at 8:20 we'll be reviewing all these questions. If you have any question in between, you can put on your remarks in the chat window. In the meanwhile, I'll be giving you some tips about these questions, some tips about how to solve in the examination. Okay. For all those people who have joined recently, uh, the first 5 questions you need to solve in next 15 minutes. Take a screenshot of it if it has not been shared with you by Arun sir. The questions are at par with the IFT examination, and more or less some of the questions are even from the last year examination or a year before. The level of questions in IFT is not that easy. So again, I'll advise to choose question wisely. That is the key to score high marks in IFT. Always see the questions that can be solved easily without consuming a lot more time. Some of the questions are given just in order to consume time. They know people will waste time on that, so it's more or less an exam of decision making more than anything of DI or LR. That is what is expected of you, because as a manager in your future life you are expected to take decision and follow those decisions. Some of the prime areas for quant, I'll suggest brush up your AP, GP thing, brush up all the functions thing, set thing, brush up the areas of log, which is bound to come. These all questions are bound to come in IFT examination. and this will actually help you a lot. If you are happy, you are okay with all the concepts, you can easily crack those questions. Okay people, time is up. Now I'll be taking each question one by one. Question number one is a series question. It is actually a mix of few of the AP series. So we have to find out the next terms. So if we see the term T1, T2, T3, T4 like this, -1, 0, 1, 0, 2, that has been given. Next terms are given. They are actually a mix of three series. T1, T4, T7 and T10 are an AP with a common difference of +1. So if you see T1, T4, T7 and T10 are a common difference of +1. Similarly, T2, T5, T8, T11 is an AP with increase of 2. Differences between two terms is an increase of by 2. 0, then T5, 2, then T8, 6, then T11, 12. So 2 is here, the difference here, 4 is there, here 6 is there, then here 10, 8 will be there. Now uh, third series is T3, T6, T9 and T12. Here the difference between 1 and 4 is 3. Here is 5. Here 7. Here 7. Then here it will be 9. So squares of consecutive numbers. So it's like 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square and then 5 square. So next will be 25. So the next three terms will be actually the term of these three series. Here -1, then 0, then 1, then 2, then next will be 3. So the next term will be 3 here. Then for series 2, 0, here the difference is 2. Here the difference is 2, here 4, here 6, here 8. So 8 is the difference. So next number will be what? 12 plus 8, that is 20. So next term will be 20 here. Similarly for series 3, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, so next will be 5 square. So 25. So next three terms will be 3, 20 and 25. What is that option? Option 3. Option 3 is that. So option 3 is that. So we get it as 25. So option 3 will mark option 3. Next question is a function question. Remember this. This is the function that has been given. Some equations has been given and next set of value has been asked. So how we'll do is we will actually use what all information that has been given. So first information is f1 minus g1 is given as 2. So put value of 1 in the place of x and you get a square plus b minus l minus m minus n is equal to 2. That is the first equation you get. Similarly, you get the second equation and the third equation. With one thing you can see that a square plus b, a square plus 2b, a square plus 3b and a square and n minus n. It is common in all the equations. Keep this in mind. Now with equation 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2 if you solve, subtract this minus this, so what you will get? B minus 3L minus M is equal to 5. Similarly with equation 1 and 3, if you solve, what you get? 2B minus 8L minus 2M is equal to 8. And 2 and 3, these two equations will give you B minus L minus M. So one thing out of it is you can get the value of L out of it. L you can get easily as 1. And one more thing, if you get L, you get the value of B minus M. B minus M. And A square minus N can easily be contained out of, put any value, B minus M value and L value in this and you can easily get the value of A square minus N. Now put all these values in this equation. What you get? F4 minus G4 is 11. 11 is what option? We have seen 11 as option number 2. So we'll go ahead and mark option number 2. Okay. Just tell me whenever you are not able to understand these questions. Okay guys. So moving ahead, the third question. Third question is a log question. But in this question, it's not only a log question, it's a common sense question as well. You have asked three distinct positive integers a, b and c are in geometric progression. B minus a is a perfect square. Always remember 1 is a perfect square, 0 is also a perfect square. Never forget all these things. This can happen anytime. And what is the value of a plus b plus c has been asked and this equation has been given log a plus log b plus log c by log 6 is equal to 6. Now what we'll do is, it has been given log a plus b plus c is equal to 6 power 6. We can actually what do is we can take this and move it here. So what it will become? 6 log 6. That means logs 6 to the power 6. And here this will become log a, b and c. So we can equate a, b, c to 6 to the power 6. So this is what we have done. A, B, C equated it to 6 power 6. ABC has been equated. Now it has been given these are in geometric progression. So what we know about geometric progression, b square is equal to AC. So this becomes b cube, and b cube has been given as 6 power 6. That means what is the value of b? 6 square, that is 36, and AC is 1296. Now the value of A and C can be 36 and 36, 12 and 208. It can be a lot of things. But now see the options. What we have options? 110, 111, 108 and 109. Any other option if you take other than this, if you take any other option, you will always get a number more than 100, either of A and C, and the sum cannot never be one of these. So easily with common sense you can mark 36, 36 and 36 can be value of A, B and C. Also you can see B minus A is a perfect square. B minus A is B minus A is 0. 0 is a perfect square. So this is actually a mix of both common sense as well as the normal route what we have followed. So always try to do this. Get into the question, solve a little bit and see the options. If you are able to interpret out of the options itself, go ahead and mark the answer. Okay. So A plus B plus C will be 108. 108 is what? Option number 3. So we'll go ahead and mark option number 3. Okay, moving on to question number 4. Again, question number 4 is a simple question of sin x plus cos x. What is the maximum value of sin x plus cos x? Root 2. It can be for x is equal to 45 degree. And what is the minimum value of sin x plus cos x? Minus root 2. Obviously, it will be for minus 45 degree. Minus 45 degree. So minus 45 degree. So 3 to the power sin x plus 3 to the power cos x, we need to find out the minimum value. Sin x will lie between minus 1 and 1, cos x minus 1 and 1, as you know. Now minimum value can be for minus 45 degree, and for minus 45 degree the value of 3 to the power x sin x and 3 to the power cos x will be same, 3 to the power minus 1 by root 2, and the total value will be 2 into 3 to the power minus 1 by root 2. And what is that option? Option 2. Option 2 is the right answer. So we'll go ahead and mark option 2. Now the next question. Next question is again maxima minima question, marginal cost question. This actually comes in Iift. You need to practice on this. Marginal cost is nothing but dc by dx. That is what marginal cost is. So here the question is, total cost C in 1000 rupees incurred by a farmer as a function of quantity of production x is given by C is equal to x to the power x square minus 1 into x cube plus 2. Find the marginal cost per kiloton when the quantity of production is 2 kiloton. Okay. Simple differentiation we have to use, nothing else. Marginal cost dc by dx is this. Now find the dc by dx of it. Easily you can do. dc by dx, c is x into y, and what we know about d by dx? X dy by dx plus y dx by dx. That is the how the differentiation is being calculated for a multiplication function. So we will calculate x square minus 1 into d x cube plus 2 by dx and x cube plus 2 d x square minus 1 by dx. So this will become 3x square, this differentiation. The differentiation here, the differentiation will be for this 3x square here, and for this it will be 2x So we'll go ahead and find out the marginal cost as this. And marginal cost is given as for x is equal to 2. If you put value x is equal to 2 here, it comes out as 76,000 per kiloton. As it has been given is, if you remember the question has been given in thousand. So always remember these matrix, and these things also create a problem. Okay, I believe a lot of people are asking questions. I'll try to solve your questions as well. Hope you understood what I'm trying to say here. Mugna, I believe you have not read the question. There are three distinct positive integers. I believe there is a problem with this question. Three distinct positive integers shouldn't be given. Three positive integers should be given. But if you have a confusion over these type of questions, always see that if the option satisfies it, go ahead and mark it. They won't consider it. Okay. Okay, guys. We'll move on to next set of questions. Meanwhile, I'll take down your questions. It's not a problem. Yeah, I believe that question, I think there is some problem. Distinct shouldn't be given. It should be given positive integers. That's it. Okay, we'll move on to next set of question. Next set of question is a DI question. So DI question, this is the table. Take a screenshot of it. Then I'll scroll down and let you see the other questions. Okay, I'll scroll down to questions sheet. Okay, we'll move ahead. 6, 7, 8. These questions are on the data that has been provided in the table above. So we'll solve first these three questions in next 10 minutes. So it's 8:40. So 8:50 we'll review the questions. Take a look at the table as well once again if you have not taken a screenshot of it. Again, I would like to give you one piece of advice about the DI section. DI section will be very number intensive for IIFT, and you have to go ahead and do that because you don't have any other option to score. You have to go ahead and do the calculation manually and get with it. Or if you get a LR question, that will be very good. If you are not getting, you are getting a DI questions only in the paper, then it is going to be number intensive. This is the set of questions. Once again, if you have not taken a screenshot, take a screenshot. Okay, class. Time is up. Now we'll review question number 6, 7, 8. Uh, First, let us go to the data sheet. This is the data sheet what we have. Some of the things that has been asked: which region witnessed the highest compounded annual growth rate? Highest compounded annual growth rate. Highest compounded annual growth rate. Compounded annual growth rate means from 2010, it has increased from 2007 to 2010. So how much was the increase per year? So that means which has the highest increase will have the highest increase per year, because how it is being calculated, this minus this divided by this divided by 3, because CAGR is actually computed for each year, and here 3, 2007 to 8, 8 to 9, and 9 to 10, 3 financial year is being taken into consideration. So whichever has highest value of this will have highest value of this. Hope this is okay. Now we'll go ahead and solve this question. Some of the CAGR, Eastern Europe, if you see, Eastern Europe, it has increased from 227650, 152,764 to 227650. So always go ahead and see which has the highest. Some of them you can easily rule out. Some of them you can easily rule out. See, this North America you can easily rule out. No need to actually calculate of it. Obviously, some are even greater than that. So what I have done is taken top 4. So this value is around equal to 50%. Now how we have calculated is, see, 74,886 you can write it as nearly equal to 75, and 152,6764 you can write it nearly as 150. So 75 by 150, it is nearly equal to 50%. Okay. Now Central and South America, 12409 by 42314. Obviously it is less than 50%. West Asia, again it is less than 50%. Similarly for Southeast Asia, we see it is less than 50%. So which has the highest CAGR? We can easily see it is for Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe is option number 1. So we'll go ahead and mark option 1. Option 1 is Eastern Europe. Okay. Vinal, you have not got it right. You are saying that it's still insistent on Central and South America. You can easily see that only 12,000 has been increased, and 12,000 is what percentage of 42? It's around 1 by 3, 33 or 34%. That is what. So, sixth question, option 1. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, we'll go ahead with the next question. Next question is, tourists arriving into India from how many regions experienced a CAGR of 10%? I've already told you how to calculate a CAGR. CAGR is what? Compounded annual growth rate, means the total growth rate divided by the number of years. That is how it is calculated. Now in this, what we have done is, we took the final year minus the first year divided by the first year, okay, starting year, divided by the total number of years. Okay, this is the compound annual growth rate, and now it has been written directly as 10%. If something is increasing at CAGR of 10%, so the final should be greater than 1.1 to the power 3, that is 1.33%. It should be greater than the 33%. That means the growth in 2010 growth in growth in this year should be at least 33% greater than the one in year 2007. Okay, so we'll calculate this, and we'll calculate. Okay, uh, so what we can see as CAGR of 10% for 3 years, what does it mean? It means a growth which is 1.1 to the power 3, that is 33.1%. The difference between tourists 2010 and 2007 has to be more than the one third of the number of tourists in 2007. Got it? So by observation, this is true only for which all? We have already calculated the Europe in first question. We have already calculated that it is correct for Eastern Europe. It is also correct for West Asia and Southeast Asia. Only 3 nations it is correct. So only 3 nations it is correct. So which is option for 3 nations? What we have option? Option 1. Option 1 is 3. So for 3 of them, the CAGR is more than 10%. So we'll go ahead and mark option 1. Now the next question is the highest annual growth rate recorded in the tourist having from any region in any year is. Now see, here CAGR is not asked. It is asked highest annual growth rate recorded in the tourist arriving from any region in any year. So 1 year growth rate has been asked. It's not CAGR that has been asked. So we'll go ahead and see what happens. Again, you observe for Africa the highest annual growth was recorded in 2010. So 1 year growth rate for that was 24.35. For Eastern Europe, highest was recorded in 2010. Again, if you see 24.07. Similarly, we will calculate, and for East Asia, if you see in 2010, the growth rate was 27.61%. So we'll go ahead and mark option 4. Option 4 is East Asia. East Asia is option 4. You'll go ahead and mark. See, this is a little tricky question. You need to pay attention in order to understand this question. And these type of question you can expect in Iift examination easily. These type of questions are bound to come in a Iift examination. Again, from 9 to 13, question is a little DI based question, LR based question, I must say. So go ahead and mark these, see this question, and try to solve this question in next 15 minutes or so. It's 9 o'clock. At 9:15 we'll review the question. If you have any problem, raise your questions in the question bar. Take a screenshot of it. I believe I can paste this question as well. So I'll paste this in chat window. This is a simple question. Simple. You can see A can do this, B cannot. A want to sit with this, B does not. So these type of question you have already, I think, solved question. So it won't be that tough for you. But try to solve it in less time. Okay, I've pasted all the question from 9 to 13 along with the directions of the question. You can go ahead and solve this question. We'll review at 9:15. Okay, class, let us review the questions. So, there are 7 company executives. They have to sit around a rectangular table, and some of the conditions that has been given, and we have to make them sit according to those conditions, and we have not to actually we have to restrict ourselves with the conditions that has been given. So it is written as these are the 7 executives that need to be sitting around. So first question, we'll go ahead. Question number 9. Which of the following is an acceptable seating arrangement of the executives, starting with you moving towards the head of the table and continuing around the table? Okay, you is the starting one. Okay, then see. In alternative 1, V and Z, we have been written as V can never sit next to Z. So V and Z are sitting next to each other. So this option is already gone. Then option 3, what happens? Y sits as the head of the table, which is again not acceptable because we have written U is moving towards the head of the table. Again, that option is gone. Option 4, X sits at the head of the table. Again, this option is gone. So these 3 options we cannot actually go ahead. So what is left? Option number 2. We can go ahead and mark option 2. Once again, you check all the all once again you cross check with this that it is satisfying to these all conditions. Actually it is. So we will go ahead and mark option 2. Question number 10. If W sits directly opposite to T, X must sit to which of the following executives? So W sits directly opposite to T. Okay. So X should sit to which of the next to which of the following executive? So Z is the option. Option uh, X is sitting next to U. U is here. X is sitting. Okay. X is sitting next to U. X is sitting next to U. So 10th option is option 2. We can go ahead and mark option 2. Vivek has got it right. Umesh, you need to think again. I think you have made some silly mistake over. Question number 11. If T sits directly opposite to Z and next to V, which executive must sit directly opposite to U? T sits directly opposite to Z. T is sitting directly opposite to Z. And next to V. So it is sitting next to V. So which executive must sit directly opposite to U? Directly opposite to U is W. You can go ahead and mark option 2, that is W. Then we have, if W sits directly opposite to U and next to T, the 2 executives immediately on either side of X must be. On either side of X must be. What are these? Z and V. So we can go ahead and mark Y and W. So we can go ahead and mark Y and W. Sorry, question number 12. Question number 12 is, if W sits directly opposite to U and next to T, the two executives immediately on either side of X. So either side of X, what are the two executives? Z and T. Z and T are is option number 3. So we can go ahead and mark option number 3. This is what the circular orientation of the executives will look like. 13 question. If Z sits at the head of the table, Y sits directly opposite to U, Z sits at the head of the table, Y sits directly opposite to U, Y sits directly opposite to U, and V sits immediately on X left. V sits on the left of X. Okay. What is the total number of seating arrangements of the executives? Seating arrangements can be these two places are not filled. So these can interchange depending upon the value of W and what is left, W and T. W and T can interchange these positions. So what we will get? We will get two options. We will get two people, means W, Z, W, Z here, and then Z and W here. So we can go ahead option as option number 2, because two combinations can be formed. So we can go ahead and mark option 2. So what we have seen is, for question number 9, the answer is option 2. For question number 10, if W and Y sits together, then W and T sit near to Z, leaving X next to T. So option 1. So this is option number 2, then option number 1. Question number 11. Question number 11, what is the answer? Question number 11, which executive must sit directly opposite to you? Directly opposite to you is W. W is option number 2. So 11 is option number 2. Question number 12. If W sits opposite, directly opposite to U and next to T, the two executives on the other side of X we have already seen are T and Z. And the 13th question, we have already seen that two combinations can be placed. So the sequence of answers will be 2, 1, 3, 2, 2. I've already mentioned in send to all, so that will be the answer sequence. So we are coming to the last set of Yes, Umesh, I have already shared the answer sequence. Yes. I've, question number 11 I've already reviewed. See again. Question number 11. If T sits directly opposite to Z and next to V, which executive must sit directly opposite to U? Which is, is directly opposite to U is Y. So Y is option number 1. So option number 1 is Y. Hope you have got it. Hope you all have got this thing. And we'll move ahead to the last set of questions. Question number 14 to 18. It will be dependent upon this case. This is the chart that you need to refer. The questions again I'll try to put in chat window. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it. See this data, and depending upon this data you have to answer the question number 14 to question number 18. I've already pasted the questions on your chat window. So it's 9:27. I'll give you 10 minutes to solve this question. At 9:40, 9:37, 9:38 we'll review these questions. I have already shared the answer sequence for the last set. Hope you are clear on that. Okay, guys, let's review the last set. We have the reserves of gold in quintals in all these four banks, and the value of the reserve that has been in these all banks. Okay. Now the first question is, assume that the gold remains stable over the 12 months period and was equal to 30 crore per quintal. In which month the total value of reserve for RBI for ICICI Bank with RBI was the lowest? We have been given March, May, July and October. Go directly to the options. See these all values: March, May, July and October. You can easily see for May. You can easily see for May the value is the lowest as compared to the other three options. So you can go ahead and mark option number 2. Now the next question is, for how many numbers of months is the absolute percentage change in cash reserves of ICICI Bank with RBI over the previous month more than the absolute change in the cash reserves of HSBC Bank with RBI over the previous month? Easily what you can do is take difference, then again take difference, take difference, take difference, take difference. So you can see that for which all February, April, June, July, October and December. These 6 months, the percentage change for ICICI Bank is more than the HSBC Bank. So 6 is option 2. Go ahead and mark option number 2. Veenal has got it right. Amrita has got it right. Vivek, you need to look again in the question. Okay, then for which bank is the ratio of gold reserves to the value of cash reserves with RBI is the highest in May? What you will do is go directly to May. Take the take the ratio for each of the banks and see what happens. You can see for ICICI 32.6 divided by 2543. This is the value. Similarly for HSBC we will calculate, HDFC Bank we will calculate and IDBI Bank we will calculate. We can easily see for HDFC Bank, for HSBC Bank the ratio is highest. So we'll go ahead and mark option for HSBC Bank. HSBC Bank is what? Option 1. HSBC Bank is option 1. So answer is option 1. There is a query by Kanindra that why have added the cash price. Cash price why I have added is because what they have asked is, this is the reserve and the reserve in the form of there are two type of reserves that are being maintained with the RBI. One is in the form of gold and one is in the form of cash. If you remember, you have heard about SLR, statutory liquidity requirement that needs to be maintained with RBI. This is something of that sort only, where liquid assets along with the cash is being maintained with RBI. So for converting this value into the cash format, a number has been given 30 crore per quintal. So total I have to see that the total value of reserves is lowest. Total value of reserve will be the value of this plus the value of this. So that is why I have added the cash price. Hope it is clear now. Okay, we'll go ahead with question number 16. For which bank is the ratio of value of gold reserve to the value of Uh, Cash reserves with RBI highest in May. So highest is with HSBC Bank. HSBC Bank is option number 1. We'll go ahead and mark option number 1, that is HSBC Bank. What is the average value of cash reserves of HSBC Bank with RBI over the period of 12 months? This needs a little more calculation. So for HSBC Bank over a period of this over a period of 12 months, you need to calculate the average. So calculate over a period of 12 months total value upon the number of months 12. Calculate the value of ratio, value of average reserves that needs to be maintained by HSBC Bank. So average value is 2440 crores. 2440 crores. We have option number 3. You go ahead and mark option number 3. Okay, which of the following statement is true based on the data in the above table? The growth rate in gold reserves of HDFC Bank in a month over a previous month continuously increases from June 2010 onwards. Let's see what happens in June 2010 onwards. For it is written for HDFC Bank. For HDFC Bank from June 2010 onwards. No, it doesn't increase. So this option is not correct. So first statement is clearly not true. Now it is written the percentage increase in the value of total reserves of HDFC Bank over a previous month is highest in the March. Okay, HDFC Bank is highest in March over its previous year. Now we need to calculate. We can see that for August, it is much more. This percentage increase is much more than what has been increased in March. So clearly, this statement is also not correct. Then what is the third? In any month of the year 2010, the reserves with RBI is the highest for ICICI Bank among all Indian banks. Again, the data for only 4 banks are known, and the third statement can also not be determined with the given data. So we cannot know that only these banks are there. There can be a lot more banks which the data has not been given. So we cannot actually assume among all Indian banks it is written. If it would have been written among all the banks that has been given, then we could have verified this data. But it is already written among all Indian banks, so we can actually go ahead and discard this option. So these 3 options are not correct. So we have only one option left, that is none of these. We'll go ahead and mark option number 4, that is none of these. So this concludes today's session, and this I believe will be the second session and the last session of Iift. So I would like to wish you all best of luck for this examination. Go ahead and do well. Keep my advices in mind. Keep choosing the best question. Keep trying to go ahead with calculation questions, because you need to do calculation. You cannot shy away from that. And these question and answer sheet, it will be mailed by Arun sir to all the participants. So no problem for that. So enjoy your time. Keep practicing. Best of luck. Okay, on this note, I'll say goodbye, good night, good luck. Bye bye.